Game of Thrones is filled with selfish, terrible people. But the most selfless character on the series finally got her moment, telling a story of validation that has spanned 7 seasons, making it our most pivotal scene of the episode. In A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, Brienne of Tarth's lifelong dream finally came true when Jaime Lannister knighted her. It's a fitting end for one of the most honorable and selfless characters in Game of Thrones. Sir Brienne is one of those characters who's always been there, part of the main story, but rarely getting a chance to stand out on her own. And that's not an accident. This is a character who'd long given up having dreams of her own, dreams she thought she couldn't achieve, and instead pledged herself to help others achieve theirs. When Brienne was young, she wanted to be a knight, but was told so many times, she couldn't because she's a woman, and she accepted it as the way things are. For a little while, she played her part as a lady. Her father even threw a ball and invited dozens of lords to vie for her hand in marriage. At first, the boys fought to dance with her, told her she was the most beautiful woman in the world, but it was a trick, one that scarred her against wanting anything for herself. And then who saved her from humiliation that night? Renly Baratheon. He danced with her and told her to ignore cruel lords who mocked her. It was that moment when Brienne chose to pledge her life to helping good people. And if she couldn't be a lady to do it, she would be a knight, or as close to one as the world would let her be. She fought for a place in Renly's Kingsguard. Then, after he was killed, she swore an oath to avenge his death, and she did. She pledged her service to Catelyn Stark to keep her daughters safe, and she did. She promised to bring Jaime Lannister back to King's Landing, and she did. You see where I'm going with this? Brienne is good people. She lives by a code of honor, traveled the world to keep her promises. She's someone people can count on, kind of like Ned Stark, except she knows how to keep her head. She's so trustworthy, her word alone was enough to keep Jaime alive this episode.
I trust you with my life.
Eventually, Brienne was a knight in everything but name. She had her sword, she had a squire, and she had her armor, which, as Hot Pie once pointed out, is how you tell someone's a knight anyway.
People with armor is usually knights, generally speaking.
She even chose to go by Brienne of Tarth instead of just Brienne Tarth, so people knew she was a warrior, not just another lady. But you'll notice how, even though she was basically a knight, she never asked anyone to officially make her one. Not even Renly, who was a king in her eyes. It's because she's so selfless, she couldn't imagine risking anyone's safety for the sake of her dream. That moment in this episode, when Brienne looked to her squire Podrick for approval, hearts stopped. Because she was so used to helping others, she was afraid of wanting something for herself. Plus, she was scared of being humiliated again, like that time at the ball. But here's the thing about trust. It goes both ways. These men, unlike those boys, loved her and trusted her for who she is. Jaime Lannister knighted Brienne, a woman who started as his captor, because he trusts her. He volunteered to serve under her command because he trusts her. Brienne has earned that trust just for being herself. Sir Brienne of Tarth finally got a chance to live her dream. Unfortunately, in the world of Game of Thrones, that probably means her story has come to an end, and her battle at Winterfell may be her last. But at least she'd go down fighting as the brave knight she, and all of us, always knew in her hearts she was meant to be.